Hey everybody, it's Don Henry's How To's. I'm going to show you how to make a simple rainbow cake. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so just into a bowl I'm going to add 250 grams of softened butter. Next we'll add 1.5 cups of white sugar, 1 cup of lukewarm milk, I'm just using full cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're going to crack in 4 whole eggs. And just using a hand beater or a mixer, we're just going to mix this together. Okay, next I'm going to add about 4 teaspoons of baking powder. If you're going to use self-raising flour, you don't need to do this. And I'm going to add 3 cups of plain flour. And I've already sifted this. And all we're going to do is just on a very low speed mix this together. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay guys, so once it reaches the stage where it's almost all completely mixed, I just like to use a spatula to do the rest. Because the last thing you want to do is over mix a cake batter. You're pretty much just turning it into almost bread. So we'll just carefully scrape the sides, fold it all through together, and just be gentle with it. Now if you want to add any other flavorings in, you can do at this point. Anything like an essence or an extract. So there's almond, there's peppermint. Okay, and that's looking good. So let's bring across our cake tin now. Okay, so I'm just using a regular springform cake tin. As you can see, I have covered the bottom with foil. Reason for that is probably about 5 or 6 years back I was baking a cake in the restaurant and the batter actually went through the tin into the oven and smoked the whole place up. So it's just become a habit for me to always do this for that extra security. So all I'm going to do is get a small knob of butter and we just want to grease the bottom and the sides. You can use a cooking spray too if you prefer, but I like good old-fashioned butter. Alright, so that's looking pretty good now. So we'll go ahead and add our batter straight in. And get that all out. Just like so. And we'll just shake it around a bit. Just to even that out. And that's looking perfect. So guys, for the actual colours itself, you can of course use as many colours as you want, but obviously the more you use, the more it's just going to become confusing. So I'd just like to use probably 4. So we'll start with blue, and we'll just add a couple of random drops, like that. Next we'll get green, and pretty much do the same thing like that. Yellow's next. And finally we'll use red. If you prefer, you can use pink as well. And that actually looks cool like that too, doesn't it? Alright, so all we're doing next is getting a wooden skewer like so, or something similar. And all you want to do is pretty much just slide it across, just like that. And what you're actually doing is getting that all the way to the bottom. So the color's going to go all the way through. If your whisk is becoming too thick with batter on it, just wipe it down just to make it easier. So provided your oven is at 180 degrees Celsius, we'll go ahead and place this straight in. Guys, baking time, we're looking around 45 to 50 minutes. Obviously we'll test it to make sure. Alright guys, so I've just brought it out of the oven. In my case it took 50 minutes. So just check it with a skewer. It's the easiest way to check. So all we're going to do is let this cool down now before we do any decorating or anything. Alright guys, so we're going to make our actual icing now. So just into a bowl, I'm going to add about 50 grams of soft butter. To this we're going to add about 1.5 cups of icing sugar. about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm also going to add just a tablespoon of water. Now this will give us a slightly hard sort of icing. If you want a very smooth soft finish, substitute the water for a tablespoon of milk. And all we're going to do is mix this together slowly so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, so that's looking nice. So we'll just scrape all the sides and get that well combined. Okay, and that's looking beautiful. So guys, you can add some colour to this now if you like, if you want just like one solid colour. But I'm going to add it to the cake first, then add our colours on that. So we can sort of try and create a sort of rainbow effect. Okay. Okay guys, so I brought our cake out of our springform tin. It's completely cooled down. Don't go putting this on when it's hot because you're just going to ruin it. And all we're going to do is pour our icing straight on top. And get that covered. So guys, you can add it to the sides too, but what I prefer to do is let it just naturally run off to the sides. That gives it more of a homemade sort of look. So all we're going to do now is add our colours on top. So I'm going to start by adding a couple of drops of yellow here and there. And all we're going to do is just very gently spread it along like that. Let's do blue next. And for each colour I'm going to use this clean spoon. Just so the colours don't get too mixed up. So red next. And finally that leaves green. Okay. I guess now it looks more like a work of art than a cake, doesn't it? Alright guys, so we'll leave that there. Let's let that sort of dry up and solidify. Alright guys, so time to cut into it. So let's carefully cut this into eighths, just so we can get even slices. Okay. Alright, just look at that. Nice and soft. That looks amazing. Alright, and that's all there is to it, guys. So storage wise, if you're leaving this at room temperature, you can have it probably in about 2 or 3 days. If refrigerated, up to a week. Obviously it can be frozen as well, but you saw how easy it is to make, and there's just so many alterations you can make to it. I hope you like that, guys. Please like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram. If you've got any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom, and I'll see you all next time.